Hello everybody, Ivan here from Mobile Bye Bye, and this video I am going to cover what is the most important factor in determining the value of your home that you have virtually no control over, or very little control over. Everybody knows that the condition of their home will affect the value. Homes that are taken well care of, that are in good condition, or if they're rehabbed, everybody knows that the value of that home is going to be worth more than a home that's not well taken care of, or a home that's in disarray, needs a lot of repairs. That's very well known. But this other factor, this other key metric, is very misunderstood, and I find a lot of people, some people don't even realize it exists. And what I'm talking about is depreciation. Depreciation is the value that your manufactured home loses over time, that has nothing to do with anything besides the fact that time has passed. And so every year, your manufactured home either appreciates or depreciates. Generally, manufactured homes that are on real estate, that have the land included with them, generally we've seen historically that those appreciate in value. However, manufactured homes that are located inside mobile home communities and parks generally depreciate. They go down in value. That's because they're not attached to the land, and it's a separate asset that's called personal property. Now, don't take my word for it. This is not my opinion. This is not something that I really care to influence one way or the other. I'm simply trying to measure it. So I wanted to make this video to go into the numbers, go into the hard numbers, the hard data that show how we come up with this number, and how this plays out with the value of your mobile home. I get calls every day from folks, and they say, how much is my home worth? And it's impossible for me to tell without first looking at the condition of the home, but assuming that their home is in good condition, well cared for, I can get very, very close just by knowing the age and the value that the home was at the time that it was purchased, and then the market trends that have transpired over a period of time, or the current market trends that are going on in that market. So I want to give you an example. We are looking here at Sun Communities. This is a manufactured home park in well, it's actually in Austin, but it's right on the border of Pflugerville and Austin. So it's very close to those two cities, but it's technically in Austin, and it's called River Ranch, and it is owned by Sun Communities. Sun Communities is one of the largest manufactured home owners in the world. I think they own, over 600 different communities, parks. So thousands and thousands and thousands of homes in the United States, the UK, all over in different states, different markets. And but this particular one is in Austin, and they have homes listed on their home for sale. And what I can say for sure is that Sun Communities knows how to price their homes. They are pricing their homes based on the market, and they know what depreciation is, and they know how to factor that in, and they know how that works with their homes. So I wanted to just show you this example. But first, before we dive into the numbers, I'm going to show you, this is a quick depreciation calculator that I use, but I did want to go over just some quick FAQs here. So I know a lot of folks, they disagree with me when they at first hear that mobile homes depreciate. They're shocked. They're like, "What? I thought my home went up in value. I bought it for $100,000 3 years ago. I thought I could sell it for $130 today, and you're telling me it's going to sell for less than $100." And I say, well, I'm sorry, but that's because mobile homes depreciate if they're inside of a park. Ramsey Solutions from Dave Ramsey Investments, they've done a lot of research on this, and they've actually, the rule of thumb that they use is that most manufactured homes depreciate a third of their value in the first 5 years. So if you buy a home for, let's just say $100,000, then roughly $33,000 of that is going to depreciate or go away in the first 5 years. We find that markets will change that. So actually the Pflugerville, Austin market It's such a great market that's gone. The overall prices have gone up, rents have gone up in the area. So that we actually find that it's longer to reduce lose a third of the value of your home. But the fact remains, mobile homes depreciate, and a big chunk of that comes off the first few years. Uh, it's conceptually it's better to think of a manufactured home as a car. So think of a car. I use this analogy a lot, but if you bought a brand new car, let's say you paid $10,000, probably can't even buy a new car for that today, but let's say let's say $20,000, you went and bought a brand new car, and you drove it across the street, and you parked it in a parking lot, and you put a for sale sign on it. So it's 1 day old, but you bought it and moved it across the street. That car is going to have depreciated because now you're selling it as an owner versus someone who bought it brand new from the dealer. So day one, it's depreciating. Now, if you let it sit there for a year, even if you put 0 miles on it, it's going to depreciate more. And you think, well, what? It's the same car. It's the same car that I bought a year ago. It's in the same condition. It's perfectly fine. Well, yeah, but somebody can go buy a brand new one at the dealer. Why would they buy yours a year older and pay the same price? They wouldn't. They're going to pay less. That's what depreciation is. And so there's actually some specific calculations that we use when we look at depreciation, and I'm going to go into those here for you. Don't be overwhelmed with this graph and the math and the things here. I'll break it down. There's a lot here, but I did want to just show you kind of how this works. But first, let's go back to the mobile homes on Sun Communities, because I want to look at 2 homes here and use these as examples to see how close of a calculation I can get to determining what the depreciation is on a home. So there's 2 homes that they have listed. One is a brand new 2025 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot home, and it's listed for $150,000. That's today. Now, there's another home that they have listed that is very similar. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, double wide for just about 1,500 square foot, but it's a 2015. So instead of a 2025, it's a 2015, 10 years old, and it's listed at $100,000. Now, you may say, well, look, this is the same home as this one. Why is this priced differently? Well, it's obviously priced because this one's 10 years older than the other one. This one, I mean, it looks like everything's in great condition. I would say this is all probably factory stuff. They might have even made some updates to it, maybe put some new floors in, or obviously painted. It looks nice, but in general, it's the same home, just 10 years older, and it's $50,000 cheaper. So that's depreciation. So how did we get there? Well, there's annual depreciation that happens, and what we've done, looking at a lot of market comps, a lot of market data, looking at statistics and sales comps, not just what homes are priced at, but what they're sold at. We've come up that there's an average depreciation formula that happens for manufactured homes over the lifespan of the home. We find that year one is the biggest drop off in price, and you'll see that over here in this graph, but it goes down on average anywhere from 10 to 20%. In the Pflugerville area, Austin area, it's a little bit lower than 20. It's 12%. So it's not right on the lower edge of that, but still within that 10 to 20% window. And the year 2, it goes down another 5%. Year 3 and year 4 is 4%, and year 5 it's 3, but then it kind of flattens out. And so you see that over here on this graph. It drops in price significantly those first few years, and then the next few years it still is going down, but it goes down less quickly, and it almost flattens out. It's going at just 2%. And then at year 10, we actually find out that there's another little drop, because usually at 10 years it's kind of it's a key year where the value goes down even more. And most of the time it's because people look at it and they're like, oh, your home is a decade old. And it's kind of like a milestone, a car getting 100,000 miles. It's the same thing where it's like, oh, that car's now it's got a lot of miles. Where before, maybe it didn't register in my mind. But 10 years, it's like, okay, your mobile home is now getting old. It's 10 years old. So I think that's how it kind of factors out. But regardless, it kind of follows this downward trend, and then it starts to flatten out over time. the sad thing about this is with new homes, those first few years are generally when you're just paying interest on a home, on your mortgage. So you're paying interest, you're not really paying off the equity, but yet the home is decreasing in value. So if folks come to us and they say, we want to sell our home, and it's within that first 5 years, that's really tough to be able to get what you have into it, because homes depreciate. But again, don't take my word for it, okay? If you're looking at this going, oh yeah, he's just telling me my home is going down in price. Let's look through this example and I'll show you. This is some communities, remember, they have a 2025 home and a 2015 home. So let me just assume that I bought this home brand new in 2015. And let's assume I paid the same price as the new homes are listed at today for $150,000. That's where this calculator comes in. So I paid $150,000 or $149,900 in 2015. 10 years later, what does the price, if I look at this calculator, what would the price of that home be? The calculator based on depreciation shows that the value is $98,000. That is very, very close to where this 10-year-old home is listed today on Sun Community. It's $100,000. I would argue that the calculation we came up with, this calculator of $98,000, is actually more accurate than 100, but most likely Sun Communities just rounded up and said, okay, we'll list it at 100, and maybe somebody comes in and offers us 98. And I guarantee you I could go buy this house for $98,000 today and they would accept it. They're not going to turn away an offer for $2,000 less than listing price. So I'm pretty confident with this. So the depreciation calculation holds up. And so you might be looking at this and going and thinking, oh, wow, that's depressing. The value goes down. I thought value goes up. Is there anything I can do about this? Well, the answer is yes. There are some things you can do. And that's why whenever we look at a home, whenever we try to value a home, we always ask for photos, ask for condition, ask if there's any upgrades done on the home, ask if there's any repairs needed, because that's going to factor and move the home up or down as well. So there's two key areas that we look at. One is what we call the depreciation recapture. And so we have a tool down here where we go through and we list out all the repairs that are needed or that were done on the home. So if you put in a new AC, put on a new roof, the floors are updated, that's going to recapture some of that depreciation. Now, this home, it's depreciated about $50,000. We've found that the most you can recapture from that is 25% of it. So if you put in a new roof and new floors, maybe we can get back $10,000 of that. So we'll put $10,000 there and add it to the current depreciated value. So right now, if you put those updates in, it's then we'd say, okay, well, your home is probably worth about $108,000. That's where we would list it at. Now, there's another set of features that we look at, and these are what we call high value features. So if your home has 4 bedrooms, or if it has you put in a whirlpool or a sauna or a big huge back porch that's enclosed, there's certain factors that will add value. Now, some people will call and say, oh, well, I put a backsplash on my kitchen, or I changed the carpet. Well, that's not gonna add a lot of value, because when you bought the home, it had new carpet. So the fact that you used it and then put new carpet back doesn't increase the value of the home. It just keeps it nicer, and I think will help get it sold, but it's not going to be a high value feature. So what we like to do is look for high value features. Is there an extra bedroom? Is there a second living room? Different things that are key that may help drive demand for your home, and we'll add in values there. So maybe you have a 4th bedroom and we can add $5,000. So now the price of your home is actually a summation of these. So maybe your value is actually $113,000. Which is great. So we factor that in when we are determining what we can sell the home for. So I hope this video has been helpful. Again, it's a lot of information, but it's just such crucial knowledge to know when you're looking at the value of your home and how we're calculating it. So that's why I made this. Keep in mind that these numbers are rough estimates. So even though this number is close to the 100,000 that was listed, if we had this home, let's say the seller of this home said, I want to sell this home and I really want to try to get 110 for it. we would say, okay, we could possibly get 110 for it. It might just take you a little bit longer time. We're probably not going to be able to get 130 for it, but maybe we can bump it up a little bit and get it a little bit higher. It depends on a lot of factors, the area, current market interest rates, current market demand, but we factor all that in and we'll help guide you in choosing the right price to list your home at. Or if you said, hey, I need to sell this quickly, I need to sell it like yesterday, then we may suggest, well, why don't we lower the price some? Maybe we lower it, put it at 95 or 90 to really get it sold quick. Again, there's so many factors that need to be put in, but the point of this video is not to go into all of that. We can help with all of that and determining different scenarios and timelines, but the main goal and main point I wanted to communicate in this video was just depreciation and how it affects the value of your home. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can call, you can text, you can email, and I'd be happy to run these numbers for you and give you an estimate on your home. Hope you have a great day and hope this was helpful. Thanks for trusting me and the team here at Mobile Bye Bye, and we look forward to helping you when we can. Thanks. Bye-bye.